All right, I'm going to start this video as I've started the other ones. Now that I have my audio working, yay me, I'm going to speed run a lot of this, okay? I've already seen this replay. I'm going to pause it at the key moments, but a lot of this game is going to be kept on 8x, okay? So, let's talk about mech while we're waiting. What do we need to do when we're playing Zerg versus mech? The name of the game is being as cost efficient as possible. Now, that's very difficult versus mech. It is. But it's something we need to focus on. Okay. Now, let's back this up because I actually forgot you got bunker rushed. So, from the moment we scout this Rax, what do we need to do? We need to pull our boys. These things need to come off of the line. Now, I think it's a little weird that this SCV he sends goes home because the bunkers are going to be going down. Now, we want to pull the boys. We want to pull two and make sure that they're attacking the SCV that's building the bunker so that we stop it from going up. But more importantly, the rest are just going up to get the surround on these Marines. It's two barracks and we now know what's happening before there's a single Marine out. We can get the surround, and if the Marines can't get to this bunker, even if it goes up, the bunker is useless. So we need to shut this down fast. Now we pull the boys, but they're late. We lucked out by opening up pool first. I get the safety, but look at how close this is. This is why I say it's really weird that the FCV went home. Typically there's always two, and it's a little bit of a bait and switch, and the SCVs will bounce around, move around, but one's pretty much always building. We got lucky. We killed it. Now, we try and go for the surround. We didn't get it. I don't know why we gave up so fast, and we lost a bunch of drones because of it. Commit. We gotta commit. The bunker never finishes. Yes. We got a spine. It's not doing anything. There we go. Get some roaches. Sure. I don't really know why we don't need the roaches. That's at least not yet. We have no reason to think that we need roaches. All we needed was lings to pull our drones, and now we can go back and safely go back to a normal game. Resume. So, while we're fast forwarding this, we got some solid damage done with our roaches, but you know, they're caught. They're dead. I really just want to bring home the fact how inefficient you were this entire game versus mech. The fact that you won this game is beyond me. And everything I'm about to say, I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to be a dick, this is just telling it as it is, purely constructive criticism. The reason you won this game is more because of how shitty the Terran was than how good you were. And I don't want to take anything away from you because a win is a win regardless of the conditions. But we could have done this so much better. Oh. So, let's look at our production here. Got drones going, everything's okay. Up to 49 drones. I mean, we're low, but considering the start, it's something. Third's just getting established, so his third is late. He's moving out. We've got Hellions and Cyclones. What are we going to do with these? We are going to poke back and forth. The whole point of Battle Mech is to be speedy and annoying and really get, like, just pretty much dart in, get some drone kills, dart out. Chasing them is, especially with, like, Lings, unless we're going to get the surround, chasing them in one direction is kind of what they want, because we can just kite back and the Hellions will kill everything. If we're going to play a macro style of Zerg, we need to get our creep spread going. If nothing else, we need to have all of our bases connected, and we need to have, like, at least to, like, here, this area covered, and then, like, here, so that we can see we have a couple seconds heads up when our units are coming in. Let's look at this from your point of view, without the creep. So, we have no idea what's coming. Oh, surprise! We lose a queen, we lose some drones. Still in your point of view. Wait for it, wait for it. Surprise! Couple Marines as a distraction. Hey, look, the real surprise coming back in. Thankfully, we didn't get too much done. But the whole point, we just don't have the creep. Like, this creep, we can put a creep tumor down. We need to have vision of this area. This is a very volatile area because we know he's playing Battle Mech, So what's the follow-up going to be? Siege tanks. If he gets siege tanks sieged up behind these rocks, they're not broken down, and we have no vision, and he actually gets the siege, like, we can just abandon this base because we're not going to win that fight. So this Terran it's really weird. So spellcasters, like the Cyclones, any spells don't benefit from upgrades. So that's why you're always going to see like a decent Terran player go for armor, because all we need to do is make sure that our Cyclones are surviving as long as possible. He's going for attack, and he goes single armory this entire game, and he goes all the way up to +3 attack before he decides to get armor. That's kind of a weird blessing in disguise for us, except for the fact that we ignore Carapace, so we're kind of just on even footing. Okay, this is coming up. Do we have any vision? Now we do, but we have to sack this hatch. At least we got the cancel. We have a creep tumor up there that we could be spreading down to at least get some vision, but he's going to poke in here because of course he is. And we're not going to have vision of it. So he's moving out right now. From your point of view, we finally have a creep tumor coming up to scout this, but oh, we got really lucky with our positioning there. So at least we're going to lose some units, but no, don't kite back. That's what he wants. All we need to do is we're just body checking. We're just showing him, hey, look, my roaches are here, so that he backs off. Now we're going to take even more lock. Oh, we're going back into it. Okay. There's no more lock-ons. We're good. We're good. Yeah, Magfield's not done yet, so. So let's take a breather. Look at our units. We're way down on workers. How many has he killed? Not that many. He's killed 3. So we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. Got an inject queued there, an inject queued there. Our larva is being used. Awesome. What are we using it for? A bunch of roaches. What do we need to deal with battle mech? Fungal. We need fungal. When these Cyclones and Hellions get out of control... Oh, 1 second here. Just gonna mute myself. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get back into this. So, where are we? Oh yeah, creep spread. So, we need fungal to deal with this. At least we're coming in. Was this intentional? I'm actually really curious. So, from your point of view, was this an intentional move, or was this just how the path worked? Nothing worked. Okay. I was going to say, I really like how we're coming in from multiple angles, but this is just some dumb luck. That's okay, though. Whatever works. We're coming in. Well, he can still kite up here. If he kites this way, he's screwed, but he'll probably quickly realize, even if he goes this way and comes up here. But at least we're getting multiple angles, so we'll get a little bit of damage here, right? Are we going to kill a Cyclone? Okay. So, this is where the high ground really comes into play. So he wants you to chase him from one direction like we're doing. Now, when he's on the high ground, you don't have any way... You have no vision. So he's always going to get the lock on before you can do any damage. So by the time you walk up to get that high ground vision, multiple roaches are already locked on and you're just going to bleed units. So once he gets on the high ground, we just need to fuck off. That's all we can do.
Mineral field exhausted. Mineral cluster expended.
So, what are we fighting for? We're in the middle of the map. We're not under any economic pressure. We're off creep. We're nowhere near damaging his economy. What are we doing? So, again, like, our upgrades are just so late, and like, we don't need to take this fight, is what I'm trying to say. Now, we did at least have an inject there. We're missing an inject here. We're missing 2. We at least have an inject here. We have enough energy for another one. We could inject there. Our creep spread is, for all intents and purposes, non-existent. We're not really following this up with a lot of stuff.
Forces under attack.
So when we talk about efficiency versus mech, again, it's difficult to do, but we need to use spellcasters for that to happen. I understand that every Zerg below like mid-masters has this mental block about using spellcasters, but we have to get over it. We have to jump the hurdle. We have to use spellcasters. The time to bust a mech player with like pure roach is typically like 8 to 10 minutes, because during the 8 to 10 minute window, if you take minimal to no damage, you can max out on pure roach with 1-1, and you can go across and sometimes you can just bust them. But that window is gone. So at this point in time, again, we're taking a fight into a choke where we at least have vision that there's 2 tanks here, 3 tanks here. We have no idea really about this side too much. Well, actually, scratch that, we do, but we don't see here. But more importantly, we have no idea what's here. And what are we fighting for? We're fighting from one direction into a blind... No, we don't need to do this. So the most important micro for Zerg, coming in from multiple angles. That's realistically the extent of the micro that you really need to do here. I mean, obviously getting some biles is always nice and stuff, but versus mech, we don't want, it's the same as bio. We don't want to come in from just one direction. We don't really want to be on the map right now. Like, this is not, we can pressure, sure, but like, we see this, we fuck off. We're just going to bleed way too many units. And like, look at the losses here. So he's being a lot more efficient than you are. Let's continue.
Swarm has evolved.
So, when I'm talking about spellcasters, specifically right now, what I mean is Vipers. Blinding Cloud and Abduct, they're your best friends. When he moves out, the mech player, what you need to worry about for a mech player is now this guy is really bad. So he's finally at least going double armory, but it's so late. What we need to worry about is the 2-2 push. So once they hit 2-2, they're either maxed or close to max. Mech is slow. All we need to do is keep track of where it's at. And once the move out comes, we need to pounce. Because if we let them get all the way to our side of the map and siege up, take control of a spot, and we didn't see it happen and we let it happen, GG, it's over. So we just need to focus on that. So all we need to do is stay at home, get some Vipers, so that when the siege happens up, because if we catch him while he's moving out, obviously he's going to siege these tanks, throw down some blinding clouds, cool, bunch of tanks are negated. While he's moving, we can abduct and just yoink a few, pick them off. We just need to whittle it away. We don't want to fight the full force of a maxed out mech army if we can avoid it.
Swarm forces under attack.
So, another thing that's really important versus mech when we're trying to be as efficient as possible. How many bases are on this map? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, fuck me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12. Oh, wow, they say never do math on stream. I'm such an idiot, and it's true. It's 12 bases. If we each take 6, we need to be as efficient as possible. But if we get 7 and mine out that 7th, we have gotten more money than our opponent. Doesn't mean we can be willy-nilly reckless, but we can be a slight bit more careless, or it makes up for any mistakes we might have made. All we want to do is eat as much resources off the map as possible, because when that big fight happens, we're going to lose our army. It's just kind of inevitable. But we'll be able to remax because we'll have this sick bank. We're not really taking advantage of the fact that he's doing almost no pressure. Like, the Cyclones, the Hellions are, like, yeah, we've got one Hellion here, but he has not been active with these for a couple minutes now. We can take this. We can take this. This is a bit of a stretch, but fuck it. We could try, right? We could also even take this. We have vision that there's nothing here.
Enemy assaulting drones.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, but honestly, we've got the workers. It's not that big of a deal.
Mutation complete.
Could have been worse.
Forces
Okay, so back to our creep spread. We had no idea this was coming until it was too late. If this is where we get vision of it, it's too late. What do we have in production? Corruptors. Why Corruptors? Because we're going Greater Spire. Why are we going Greater Spire? Because he's got 14 tanks. Digging it. Solid. I asked a question, I found the answer, you responded. We can definitely go Broodlords, sure. I'd still much prefer to see some Vipers, but Broodlords are solid against like a heavy tank mech. Now, ever since they changed Thors and how they work, Thors and Broodlords are pretty much... If they fight head-on and the Thors are able to attack the Broodlords the entire time, the Thors will win. But with Spellcaster support, it's not as if you see a couple Thors, you can't go Broodlords. They aren't what they used to be. They don't outrange Thors anymore. So we just need to be careful with them. So just something to keep in the back of your head here. Look, we've got a couple units being split off. We're just kind of throwing them away for no reason. Okay, we follow up with a couple Cyclones. We get chased in. Yeah. We're just not being super efficient. Oof. Late pull. What are we looking at? We're looking at our Broodlords morphing. What do we have for upgrades? Ba-ba-da-ba! No melee upgrades. At least we have it queued. But, as I've said before, I don't know if you know this or not, but Broodlords, you could have +3 air attack. Doesn't fucking matter. Broodlords don't attack. Broodlords themselves have no capabilities of attacking. Broodlords throw Broodlings. Broodlings do the damage. Broodlings are based off of melee. They don't have anything to do with air upgrades. The only air upgrade that Broodlords benefit from is the Carapace, because it will make the Broodlords, the Broodling launchers, tankier. We lose a hatchery. Why did we lose this hatchery? Because we're over here dealing with a couple tanks. I get it, we needed to deal with those tanks, but... We have our entire army on one hotkey, and I mean, that's okay in some situations, but we gotta have a couple units, just even uncontrol grouped. If you just made like 6 roaches and just left them here, idle, so that at least when you're on this side of the map, that there's something here as a buffer.
Mineral field depleted.
So I'm going to speed this up again. So this fight right here, we actually got a fair amount of damage done, but we're not really being efficient. Look, our Broodlords are coming forward, and look, these snipes just go off. We did get a lot of ghosts, but you know, he does pick off the Broodlords here. It gets to the point towards the end that he's not even sniping. Like, he walks up and just auto-attacks these Broodlords down with ghosts. So, we still got damage done, but we're still not being super efficient. We don't need to take this fight. We want to, if we're going to bust the mech player, again, the time has already come and gone, but what are we accomplishing with this fight? We just want to shut down his economy. Why are we going for his production? We know that there's going to be a shit ton of obstacles in our way. It's going to be so difficult to fight our way up to deal with his production right now. We just need to harass. This is not what we need to be doing. We're fighting in a really difficult spot to fight into. We have no detection. Does he even have... Yeah, he has... Okay, look at this. Look at our supply depots. We have the smallest window to go through. Only one Hydralis can fit in at a time. And we're being body blocked by the Thor. So these Hydras in the back can't even attack these Thors, and we're just going to get nuked here. I'll eat my own words. Okay, well, we did a lot better than we should have there. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That was still not a great decision. What are we looking at? The entire time, look at this. No inject, so much energy. No inject, max energy. No inject, max energy. No inject, no queen. No inject, no queen. No inject, no queen. Larva cap, almost larva cap, almost larva cap, larva cap. We don't get any more than 3 larvae unless there's injects going. So for all, like, there is no, we're not getting anything out of this hatchery. It is done. Unless we inject it or spend that larva, we're limited in our Remax abilities. So we're down to 96 supply. We've taken a lot of losses, and we have almost pure gas, no minerals. Why? Because we're not using any spellcasters. Like, we could get some Vipers here. I'm gonna speed this up because this goes on for way too long. So, lurkers, no. Just flat out, no. Lurkers versus mech, no. Moving on. Lurkers into swarm hosts. We're going for every tech route possible. I don't hate swarm hosts versus mech. It's fine. We've got a lot of tanks, but we put all this effort and money into getting Broodlord tech. Why are we not getting Broodlords? I mean, I know he does have a lot of ghosts, but all it takes... Well, he only has one now, but he had a lot of ghosts. But even if he had a lot of ghosts, still, a couple fungals. As long as we can avoid the EMP, we're paying attention. Like, what? We just need support. Why are we... Hate this. Okay, so we kill the planetary. Yes. We're shutting down his economy little by little. But, I mean, look at this dude's SCV count. Mech players, at this stage in the game, like, 5 minutes ago, should have cut down their SCV numbers to, like, as low as 40, sometimes even 30. Because they should have so many orbitals, because mech players float so many minerals, as you can see, that they just throw down orbitals everywhere. They can dump a shit ton of SCVs, so they can just keep dropping mules, and all their SCVs really just need to be mining gas. This mech army is so small, because he's got 100 SCVs. The lurkers actually got a lot of damage here, but like the Terran counter, like hard, well, I shouldn't say hard counter, but like, well, it is a hard counter with micro. Like the Terran response to a lot of lurkers is ghosts because they can snipe them. Considering he was already going ghosts and you went into lurkers after the fact, they got a lot of damage done there. So that was some nice dumb luck. We shot all of our swarm hosts at once. I don't like that. Why? Because we shot them after he was already backing up and moving away. And where are they? Look at this. Look at those swarm hosts. We've got 13 swarm hosts. I'm not even going to try and do math again on stream. 13 times 3 is 39 supply. That's just dead. And we are supply capped. Oh.
Under attack.
Try and shoot half and half. Unless they're sieged and we're going for it, then you can shoot them all. But, like, he was unsieging, brother. We could have just easily shot a couple. These ghosts are exposed, but they're going to snipe all the Hydras. Lurkers still get a little bit more damage done. Like, it's impressive. Again, we got lucky because of how our rally points work, that we ended up coming in from multiple angles, and we cleaned it up. Let's look at the losses again. It's getting closer. Now, this dude is still making SCVs. 102 SCVs. Focus come in, whatever they get. So we're getting some worker kills, but honestly, we're doing him a favor by cleaning up some of his workers. Really, we are. We're producing a bunch of corruptors. Why? He's got 2 liberators. Are we going back into Broodlords? I hope so. But even then, he's got 2 tanks left. He doesn't have an army. Look at the supply. Like, he's got some Hellbats and some Hellions. That's a majority of his army, and then some ghosts. But we don't have any, like, a couple fungals, and these ghosts are dead. Banelings would kill these ghosts. I don't want to see go into Banelings realistically, because unless he's going way heavier pure ghost, because we don't really want to use Banelings versus mech. But...
Mineral cluster expanded. Mineral field exhausted. Mutation. Swarm forces. High attack. Vespene geyser depleted.
Okay. I don't hate the fact that we're making a bunch of lings here, because we can just we blindly throw them in. Hopefully, because there's planetaries everywhere. I would honestly just try and send this big ball of Lings right in the main, get whatever damage they can. I wouldn't focus on microing them. It's not that big of a deal. We've got a decent enough bank. Just let them get what they get.
Swarm forces under attack. Creep under attack.
Again, I apologize that I'm fast forwarding through this so much. It's just
Creep tumor under
very
attack.
disheartening that I have to do like 11 videos over again. I can't keep going, so.
Drones under attack.
I'm just skipping forward to the important parts anyway.
Swarm forces
So again, remember what I said. We're trying to absorb as much of the map as we can, and we have. He mined a lot from this, so like, we're denying what we can, we're preventing him from further mining, but we're putting a hatch down here. Even if it dies, like, we've got the mineral bank, that's okay. We've got the creep to just delay him getting this down. We just need to absorb the map. Shit, sorry. We're ahead in army supply. We don't really need to be fighting here, but at the same time, we're maxed out, so we can do some run-bys, whatever. Not a massive fan of fighting off the creep versus, like, what we can only assume, because obviously you don't have the replay, you don't see everything the way I can see it. We don't have map hacks. What we can only assume is a scary, maxed out mech army back at home for him. So what we don't need to be fighting yet. Now, in all reality, we can absolutely win this fight, but it's just a little weird to see us moving out like this. Yeah, look. Stormhost just walked by to get a couple sniped off. The snipes, like, where's our detection, brother? We have no detection. Broodlords are awesome, but they need support. What do we have underneath them? A single Hydralisk and all of these swarm hosts that have no locusts left. The locusts have been shot, yes, but Vikings are just having a... They're just going to kill them all. We still need Corruptors. We still need Spellcasters. We need Infestors. We need Vipers to pair. Oh, these ghosts. They just walk up. Now, let's look at the losses. Holy shit. You both lost a ridiculous amount.
Swarm forces under attack.
What are we left with in the last 3 minutes of the replay? 13 roaches, 9 swarm hosts, 2 lurkers, 17 hydralisks. Versus his 13 ghosts and 15 hellions. That's the core of his army.
Mineral fever.
So, we have whittled away what mech he had.
Under attack.
You know, mech players absolutely use ghosts, and I'm happy to see him using ghosts, but man, he just went hard on the ghost train. He just bought in when the stock was low and said, fuck it, all in, putting all my money into ghosts, and it seemed like that was the only thing he cared about. He just stopped really making mech.
Swarm forces under attack.
This is really inefficient. We're fighting in, again, a choke, but fuck it. We win the game, it doesn't matter. And we whittle him away, just so inefficiently. There we go. We win the game. Now, a win is a win is a win. Regardless of the conditions, a win is a win is a win. But once you start climbing even a little bit higher, you're going to start to face Terrans that this will never happen to you again. You're not going to get this lucky. So, even though I'm proud of you for winning and sticking it out and getting the job done, we got to clean it up. Because if we don't, we're just never going to get to that next level. We have to be more efficient. We have to realize what we're doing with army comps, and we have to use spellcasters. Woo! Other things to improve on, we need to get better at our injects. We need to get better in our creep spread. I mean, it's getting better now, but it's still quite late in the game. Initially, like, in the first 10 minutes of the game, if you can get creep here, 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 and here, I'm happy. Anything else is a bonus. But we just need, like, say, 10 10 StarCraft feet. No, that's probably, I still think that, I don't know what a StarCraft foot is. Let's say we need from here to here covered, okay? We need this much because if we start down here, we have a couple seconds heads up. That way, if we have some units central, we see this here, we can move up. But if our vision starts here, which is what it was pretty much this entire game, these units are already in our mineral line before we're like, shit, I gotta do something about that. That's my feedback. I hope this helped you in some way. I hope you got some benefit out of it. Good luck, have fun, keep playing, man, keep grinding, you're getting there.